Republicans seemingly can't take a single day's break from trying to strip away your civil liberties, and as such, we never have to rest in covering that. And so we have this gentleman, we'll get to him, but we're gonna start with the tragic shooting in a Manhattan office building that you're probably all familiar with. It happened yesterday. 5 lives ended up being lost, an NYPD officer, 3 other innocent people. Another person was shot, but thankfully, at least as of right now, has survived, and the shooter themselves. Now, Senator John Kennedy jumps in and take a look at what he has to say, and then figure out for yourself what his deepest concern is as this mass shooting happens.
There'll be the inevitable call by some of my colleagues for more gun control laws. We've got hundreds of gun control laws, Sean. We don't need more gun control. We need more idiot control. And I don't know exactly how to do that. The other thing that frankly New York's going to have to face is the issue of whether we should bring back more aggressive stop and frisk.
They got to get something out of this after all. I don't understand why we have to choose though, gun control and idiot control. And I know that he's not sure how to get started, but you could resign. That would be helpful, I think, Senator Kennedy. And so look, everything he said was stupid. He's putting on the fake accent, which it really doesn't have, and he's playing up. Dude's an Ivy League educated person who pretends that he's Foghorn Leghorn on TV or whatever. But this, what he did is what every Republican does when people are being shot: rush to the media to defend the guns. There's nothing more important. I mean, we'd love to get stop and frisk too, those were great times, man. But the most important thing is everybody should have a gun, okay? Everybody at all times should have a gun. That's what he's concerned about. And so I don't think stop and frisk would have necessarily saved it. I don't think that that's actually the answer. I don't think, more importantly, that he cares about what the answer is. It's about the narrative, it's about defending guns. But we do have a little bit of information. We're still learning things, as we always are in the immediate aftermath of these things. But the shooter was identified as a 27-year-old from Las Vegas, Shane Tamora, who entered the building carrying an M4 rifle, which is a thing that you can have in America. I don't know why anyone would need to have an M4 rifle or whatever, but you can have one because that's the decision we've made. And then in the building began, obviously, the spree that took so many lives. Mayor Adams said at the briefing, the suspect had killed 3 males, 1 female, and a 4th man was seriously injured, fighting for his life in critical condition. Adams said the shooter was trying to target the NFL office, but mistakenly went up the wrong elevator bank. And by the way, one of those who's killed, and I just point this out because some of the reactions to this were viciously xenophobic and racist. New York City police officer Iadarola Islam was, I believe, a 26-year-old immigrant from Bangladesh who gave his life trying to defend people in this case, in a city where they've been targeted constantly for the fact that they have migrants there. My God, you guys are committing suicide by letting these people in. Meanwhile, they're laying down their lives in defense of the people living there. And it appears that this individual, Tamora, had a history of mental illness. There was a note found on the body. He had some sort of grievance against the NFL over a claim that he suffered from CTE, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, which can only be diagnosed after someone has died. He played high school football in California nearly 2 decades ago, but he never played in the NFL. So the entire thing, at least as of right now, doesn't really make any sense. CTE is a thing. The NFL has had scandals involving it. I don't see what possible inclusion this guy could have in that. But you're not going to be surprised to find out that the person obviously had mental issues. And so, Tory, I've thrown a lot out there. What do you make of this very serious story?
I also just want to give a quick update. Dave Portnoy, who you can have your own opinions about it, is matching donations for Back the Blue because unfortunately that police officer, as you said, John, left behind, I believe, 2 kids and an 8-month pregnant wife at the time. She was extremely pregnant, and I give my heart and I just, a lot of thoughts about that officer. I do want to say that stop and frisk, just on a side note, was seen as extremely unconstitutional and racist and racial profiling in a lot of ways. So bringing that back up offers another whole can of worms. But I guess this is what I'll have to say. And this might sound harsh, but I don't really care. People like John Kennedy need to die out, and they need to leave, and they need to get out of Congress. And what I call the school shooting generation needs to come in. I think that guns and that conversation from that generation is useless. And I just put my hands in my ears and I say, you don't know what you're talking about. You're going to do thoughts and prayers and you're going to do this and save the guns over and over again. And until, and I say this bipartisan, I hope we get a younger generation that has actually faced gun violence like this to understand what it means. We will have the same conversations over and over again. And if aliens were looking down on us, we look like absolute idiots. And we look like we look insane. Yeah, I have very little to say because my patience is worn thin with this thoughts and prayers and protect the guns. I'm at my wit's end. I want these people out. And again, I want the younger generation to come in and express how they feel. And again, I just have a problem with people like John Kennedy putting on a face right after people like this have lost their lives. So this is an old school way of thinking. It is what's keeping us in the school shooting capital of the world. And it makes us look like a joke in the global community. It makes us look like an absolute joke. So 100%. My thoughts and prayers go out to them, but really my thoughts and prayers go out to gun control and how we stop this. And remember, and I always bring this up, as a bipartisan bill, we had automatic rifles gone in 1999. I don't understand why we can't bring that back, but perhaps we've gone so polarized. I'm hoping the pendulum will swing the other way.
Yeah, well, obviously he would never allow for that.
He would never.
But to your point about the lack of our ability to get anything done while people like him are in office. Yeah, I'm gonna read one more quote from him. He said, people are gonna talk about he was mixed up or mentally ill or sick. I just don't want to hear it. I believe C.S. Lewis was right. I believe that the Bible is right. There is objective evil in this world and there's no excuse for this happening. So he's saying, he's not even doing the thing where it's like, don't worry about the guns, it's just a mental illness. He doesn't care about that either. He just says, there's just evil.
Yeah, this will just
happen.
I
guess, what are you gonna do?
Right,
I guess.
And you're the only. And you're the only person in power that could actually do something. And you're telling us, A, you don't know what to do about it, and B, there's nothing to do about it.
Yeah, that
gives a lot of hope. Yeah.
So
you're the only one.
Let's get him the hell out of that office because he's admitting that he's not even going to try to solve the problem at this point.
Exactly.
Can we put someone in who maybe isn't just gonna point at the Bible and be like, yeah, I guess I got a half day today? Yeah. No, I think we could actually do something. Again, is there only objective evil in America? Because it seems like there's less of this crime in other countries. Why would it be that we're the ones with all of the objective evil? And
it's a great point.
No evil over in France, I guess. You don't see this much of it.
Japan, they got no evil.
Less evil. They must have exported or something. I don't know. If you enjoyed that, then make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming a member. So you're probably wondering, why would I do that? Well, when you do that, you get access to bonus content that I make every single week, and it's a lot of fun. You get custom emojis and more. If you join at tier 3, by the way, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself. And you'll get all that going forward, but you'll also unlock years of the back catalog that is literally 100 or more bonus clips and top 10 lists and debates and more. So what are you waiting for?